Have you ever noticed that some days feel harder to transition into than others? Like Sunday night, for example, or Monday morning. You know the weekend is ending. You know the week is coming. You know responsibilities are waiting for you. And even if nothing bad happened, your body starts to feel it. You start feeling the heaviness, the tiredness, the tension, and a little sadness that comes with having to shift from one rhythm to another. Recently, I started noticing something about myself. Mondays feel different for me when my husband is home. And it's not because all my responsibilities disappeared, not because the house magically cleans itself, or suddenly I have nothing to do, but because when he is around, my nervous system feels more regulated. And realizing that got me thinking about healing, especially how healing, regulation, and feeling grounded are not always things we do alone. Sometimes our body feels safer because we are connected to someone who feels safe. Hey, I'm Ap Koute, a licensed therapist, and this is Ap Koute M. You are listening to me, I am listening to you. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Ap Koute M. Today, I want to talk about something I've been noticing in my own life. A lot of times, we talk about nervous system regulation like it's always this individual thing. For example, we talk about deep breathing, journaling, meditate, going for a walk, do your grounding exercise. Of course, all those things helps, right? I teach those things, I use those things, and I believe in those things. But lately, I've been reminded that our nervous system is also relational. We are not just built to regulate alone. We are also built, or we also regulate through connection, through safe people, through being around someone who helps our body feel okay. I don't have to carry everything by myself in this moment. For me, transitions into Monday can be very difficult. And I don't think it's just about Monday itself, but rather the shift. It is the shift from the weekend into the week. Even when the weekend is busy, it still has a different rhythm. As a mother, the weekend does not always mean rest. Let's be honest, right? You still have to take care of your children. You're still cleaning. You're still driving somewhere, or making sure everyone eats, answering questions. You're still doing emotional labor and still thinking about what needs to happen next. So it's not always that Saturday and Sunday are these quiet, peaceful, empty days, but work is not part of it the same way. There can be more flexibility. The mornings may feel a little different. The pressure too may feel different. And then Sunday night comes. Monday starts getting closer. And your body start prepping to return to responsibility plus work, client or children, schedule, routine, planning, meals, school, emails, all the things, right? Sometimes my body feels that shift before I even have words for it. It feels a heaviness. It can also feel a little depressing. Sometimes it's like my body is already prepping for everything that is about to be added back on my plate. Lately, though, I started noticing a difference. When my husband is home, especially when we have some time together as a family on Sunday afternoon, I transition differently. Even if the weekend was busy, if we did a lot, or I still have things to do, there's something about being together, feeling supported, and not feeling like I'm carrying the whole transition by myself that helps my body settle. And that has me thinking about co-regulation. Co-regulation is when our nervous system settles through connection with another person. And that doesn't mean that that person fixes everything. They are not responsible for all our emotions or that we cannot regulate ourselves. But it means that our body are wired for connection. When we are around someone safe, someone steady, someone who makes us feel seen, supported, or less alone, our nervous system can receive that safety and actually mirrors it. Sometimes the connection is through their voice, or it is their presence. It is knowing that they are in the room. Sometimes it's knowing that if something happens, you do not have to figure it out by yourself. Sometimes it's just a hug, or it is sitting next to each other and not even saying much. And sometimes it is about the way your body can excel because someone else is there. A lot of us have learned to survive by doing everything ourselves, especially if you grow up in a culture or family system where being strong was expected, where asking for help was not always encouraged, where you had to push through, you had to figure it out, you had to be okay even when you were not okay. And many of us, especially in the Haitian culture, we know a lot about this, right? We know what it means to carry a lot quietly, what it means to be responsible, to keep going. We know what it means to not always name what we feel because there is work to do, children to take care of, bills to pay, family to support, expectations to meet. So sometimes, even when support is available, our body may not know how to receive it right away just because of what we are used to, right? Used to thinking ahead, used to managing it all, and used to preparing for the next thing. But also, there are those moments where our bodies give us information. And for me, I notice that my body feels different when I am supported. And again, it's not because my husband takes away every responsibility, um, or it's not that life becomes perfect, but it's because my body feels like I am not alone in it. Sometimes we don't realize how much of our stress is not just about the task itself, it's about the feeling that we have to hold everything by ourselves. Sometimes Mondays feels heavy because it's not just Monday. Monday could represent the mental load. It's the emotional load. It's the shift from connection back into performance. And it's the body remembering, okay, now we have to do it again. If our nervous system already feels tired, that transition can feel even harder. And that is why connection in situation like that matters. Safe relationships matters, and also community matters. This is why having spaces where you can be held, where you can be honest, where you can slow down, where you do not have to perform strength all the time matters. Because regulation is not only about calming yourself down, regulation is also about having enough safety around you that your body does not feel like it has to stay in protection mode, in survival mode. One thing to keep in mind though is that not every relationship is regulating, right? Some relationship actually activate your nervous system, or some of them make you feel like you have to defend yourself, or make you feel small, tense, unseen, or unsafe. So when I say safe relationship can help regulate your nervous system, I'm talking about relationship where there's a secure attachment and emotional safety, right? Where you can be yourself, where you can excel, where you do not have to constantly explain, defend, or prove your worth. Where support does not come with shame, where your body does not feel like it has to brace every time that person enters the room, because our body knows. It knows when we are safe, it knows when we are not. And sometimes we might try to talk ourselves out of our body already knows by saying things like, it's fine, I'm okay, I'm just tired, maybe I'm being too dramatic. But our body collects information even when we are not aware of it. Your body pay attention to the tone of voice, the facial expression, the pace of the room, the tension, the support, the absence of support, the presence of safety, the lack of safety. Our body is always listening. So when you notice that you feel calmer around certain people, just pay attention. When you notice you feel tense around certain people, definitely pay attention. And if you notice that Monday feels different depending on how supported you felt over the weekend, also pay attention to that. Because all of that is not to judge yourself, not to blame, but it's to understand what your nervous system is telling you. Sometimes we're quick to say, I don't know why I feel this way. But if we slow down, our body has given us clue. And for me, the clue was when I realized that Sunday afternoon with family helps me transition. It helps my body prepare for the week differently. It gives me a little more grounding. It gives me a little more softness before I have to step back into more responsibilities. And that is part of healing too. Noticing what helps, what supports you, what makes the transition softer, what your body responds to, and focusing on what is wrong with us is not helpful, right? But if we turn it around and focus on what actually helps, make you feel safer, makes things smoother, right? So I want to invite you to think about that. What helps your nervous system feel supported during transitions? Maybe it's your partner, maybe it is a friend, or it's your children. Maybe it's a Sunday family dinner, or maybe it's calling someone before the week starts, or going outside, prepping your home in a way that makes Monday feels less overwhelming. Or maybe it's not scheduling too much on Sunday night. Or giving yourself permission to transition slowly instead of expecting your body to jump from one rhythm into another without feeling anything. Because these transitions are real, right? We often talk about the bigger one, the bigger life transitions like moving, marriage, divorce, having a baby, starting a new job, grief. But there are also small transitions that happen all the time, from weekend to Monday, or from vacation back to work, from rest to responsibility, connection to routine, from quiet back to noise, or from being held back to holding everything. And those transitions can affect the nervous system too. So if Monday feel heavy for you, I want you to know it does not mean, right, you are lazy or something is wrong with you or you are somehow different than everybody else, right? It does not mean you're ungrateful. It means that your body is feeling the shift, that your nervous system needs more support around transition. And you might need connection, softness, structure, or a little more space before the week begins. And quite frankly, it's not about making a long list of what to do or adding more things to do, right? It's the curiosity and noticing what your body needs. Can you ask yourself, what would make this transition feel a little safer, right? Maybe before Monday comes, you ask for help, or you tell your partners, Sunday nights feel heavy for me. Can we spend a little time together before the week starts? Maybe you call a friend, or you sit with your children and watch a movie. Or maybe it's even on that Monday morning, you are gentle with yourself. Sometimes also, maybe you prepare one thing ahead. And it's not because you're trying to be perfect, but because you're trying to reduce, right, the shock for your nervous system. And maybe you stop shaming yourself for needing support. We were not created to do everything alone. And many of us had to. We had to become very good at functioning without enough support. But being able to do everything alone does not mean you should always have to. Sometimes the healing is allowing safe support to matter. Sometimes the healing is noticing that your body feels calmer when someone safe is near you. And sometimes the healing is saying, I don't have to be strong in isolation. And that specifically is one of the reasons I care so much about spaces like Lakai Within. So many women, especially Haitian women, are carrying so much quietly. Sometimes what we need is not another space where we have to perform or to carry it alone, but it's a space where we can breathe, where we can reflect, where we can be honest, and where we can reconnect with ourselves. And also remembering that giving and receiving can both exist. And that is safe. And that is okay. That is actually what we need. Because our nervous system does not only need you to push through, sometimes it needs to be held too. Right? Sometimes we need rest or nature, or we need quiet. Or sometimes it's connection or a safe relationship. Sometimes it needs to know I am not alone. So today, I want to leave you with this reflection. Think about a time when your body felt calmer because of someone's presence. What was different? What is their tone? What is the way they listened? What is the way they helped without making you feel small? What is the way you could be yourself? What is the way your body did not have to brace? And then ask yourself, how can I create more of that in my life? In small and honest way. The support does not always have to be grandiose. It can look like a Sunday afternoon with family, or sitting next to someone's space, or having one conversation, or asking for help before you are completely overwhelmed. Sometimes it's letting your body receive the safety that is already there. And if Monday feels heavy for you, be gentle with yourself. Your body is not trying to make things harder. It is asking for a softer transition. It is asking for support. And that support matters more than you realize. Okay. If you are looking for a space where we can continue conversations like this, I want to invite you to Lakai Within, my monthly virtual gathering for Haitian women. It is a space where we can slow down, reflect, reconnect, and make room for healing in community. Our next gathering will take place on August 11. And if you're not quite ready for the monthly gathering, you are welcome to join the free Lakai Within community, where I share reflections, journal prompts, wellness tools, and encouragement throughout the month. You can find both links in the show notes. Thank you for being here. Thank you for tuning in to W Ap Koute M, Ap Koute W. If this episode resonated, subscribe, leave a review, or share it with someone who might need it. And remember, keep prioritizing yourself, keep learning, and let's heal, grow, and thrive together.